Hello and welcome everybody, everybody that's joined. I'm Rosie Wolfenden, one half of Tatty Devine. I'm joined by Harriet, who is here with a similar background. And we've got Venus, we've got Abby and Lily from Young Women's Trust, who are going to be talking to some of their advisory board and telling us a little bit more about the charity. So we're going to be launching a collection tomorrow that we've been working on with Venus for what feels like 100 years. It's been really in the making and we've been so excited about it. So it's very, very brilliant to be able to launch it tonight. Everyone here tonight will receive a link at the end, which you will be the first people to see it. So be the first people to see it, buy it. I mean, we are all wearing it, but tonight's really about raising money for the Young Women's Trust. Venus is going to be showing prints that she created, from which we took the designs and made the jewellery, and we're going to be auctioning them off tonight. So we'll come on to that later. I might just pass you on to Harriet now, just to say hi.
Hello, so I'm Harriet, I'm the other half of Tatty Devine, and we always try and strive to make original and fun, creative jewellery. It's just like there is a place in the world for really exciting things, and I think that it's what's so privileged to be able to spread messages through what you wear, and it's kind of part of what jewellery is really. It's like showing people what you believe in, and as people who are 100% behind equality and would 100% refer to ourselves as feminists, it's like it seemed like the perfect match, basically. And we became super huge fans of the Young Women's Trust work at the start of the pandemic when they launched their emergency fund and raised over £200,000, which went directly into the pockets of young women who found themselves completely, sometimes at a loss without being able to pay bills, or in some cases even buy food. So this opportunity to work with Venus came along, and it was just such a great thing, because we are big fans of Venus as well as the Young Women's Trust, and it let us try to put ourselves in a place where we could explore the challenges of being young women today and try and find positive ways that we could help through what we do, which is jewellery essentially.
Yeah, thanks Harriet. And I just want to give a little intro to Venus for anyone that doesn't know about her. I'm sure you all do. Venus is an amazing illustrator. She's also a presenter. She launched her own TV show, Private Parts, last year on Instagram TV. Her work really looks at, sharing her experiences of, self-doubt, mental health, her personal experiences of being a woman. All of which, is very close to our hearts. And I think this year especially, from everything we've been through and are going through and will go through, it chimes very, very clearly with how we're all feeling. She's brilliant. We love her work. It was an absolute joy to transform it into jewellery. And we're really delighted to work with her. Before we move on to her, I'd like to invite Abby Shapiro, who is acting CEO for Young Women's Trust, just to give us a little taster of the charity, what they do, all of the work they do, and why it's so important. Abby, I'm going to put you onto a spotlight, hopefully, right. And so everyone can see you. And there we go.
Oh, lovely. Thanks, Rosie. So I just want to start by saying just how thrilled we are to have had the opportunity to work with such amazing people. So long-time fan of Tatty Devine. And I just, start by saying a massive thank you for this amazing opportunity to help us raise funds. And Venus, as you'll see, has come up with some really stunning designs. They're really on brand, they really fit with our ethos. So yeah, really excited about being able to share those with you. So just briefly to tell you a little bit about Young Women's Trust. So Harriet already mentioned our emergency fund that we launched as part of, as a response to coronavirus. And that's been, we've really had such an impact. So we've raised enough to support almost 2,000 young women by giving them a one-off donation, which has been going towards food and phone data and things that a lot of people take for granted. We also we run a coaching and CV feedback service called Work It Out, where we're able to offer coaching sessions for young women. And we also do invest in a lot of research and campaigning and policy work to try and change some of the policy. So please do buy some of this amazing jewellery. Every penny counts, and will go a long way to really supporting young women who are particularly vulnerable at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. I'm just going to let you join the audience, and hopefully we can all transform back to all of us being here. Brilliant. So Venus, over to you. It'd be great to hear a little bit about why you are an ambassador for the Young Women's Trust, why you're so passionate about their work, and then if you could take us through the prints just to hold them up so everyone can see really clearly, and everyone can get a feel for what they're bidding on. I'm going to turn you on to Spotlight, technical speak for having the full screen to yourself, and here we go.
Hi everybody, yeah, I'm Venus Libido and I am the artist behind this collection of Tatty Devine. Like Rosie said, a lot of my work focuses around mental health, just generally being a woman and the things we face on a daily basis, whether it is about our mental health, the way we feel about our body, the struggles we face in the workplace, and I try to put that into my work. And so when I was approached by Tatty to make this collection for Young Women's Trust, I was just so excited. I've been a huge fan of Young Women's Trust for many years and the work that they do, because it just completely relates to the way I felt growing up. I felt like I didn't have anyone to turn to, and having this charity there now that young women can turn to for support and help is just fantastic, especially right now. So yeah, I hope that everyone loves the collection and can help support the charity even further. So yeah, I'll show you some of the prints that we have that are up for auction this evening. This is the first one. This print is called the Bravery Print. The second one is the Feminist Print. And then we have the Trust in Women print, which is the slogan for the charity for this campaign. And then we also have a set of 2 pieces, and I'm actually wearing the earrings. This is my favorite piece of the collection, which is Making Waves and Moving Galaxies as a set.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the prints.
Amazing. Thank you, Venus. I'm just going to turn us back to all being visible. Hello. Absolutely amazing. I love them. I want one on my wall. I actually have a massive one on my wall, but that is digital. It's not the real thing. So, and before we go on to the auction, where you'll be able to bid for one of those posters, and you'll be doing that by putting on your chat and messaging me, and I will be making notes and managing the whole thing. Before then, I just wanted Harriet just to run through the jewellery. She has got
a little cam.
Jewellery cam. I'm going to put that onto Spotlight so that you can see the jewellery.
I think I can reach it, so bear with me. That's all good.
Let me just check that's going to work. Right, we can.
And I've got the first one in the box in a kind of like unveiling kind of way. I thought it was kind of a bit exciting for people to get the whole experience.
Unboxing, Harry.
The unboxing of video, so we can see how the Venus's prints have actually come to life in the acrylic. So this one is called the Yes I Can Make This, which is based on the Bravery print that Venus showed us. The first print that she showed us, and you can see here that it's like a digital print onto a matte acrylic, so it's a real beautiful representation of Venus's work. But as well as the print on the jewellery, we've also taken the drawing and actually turned it into like acrylic elements too, so the leaves, rather than being a print, they're actually made of acrylic. And then I'm really loving this little tiny mirror that she's holding, which says yes I can, which I think sums up a lot of how we're feeling at the moment, and it's a really good sort of motto for getting through what we're going through currently. I also really love this piece because it's double layered, so the lady is put on the backing piece separately onto the top, so she's got like quite a lovely little 3D quality to her. And all of the
It's
pieces,
beautiful.
all of the pieces have got this lovely little Venus Libido tag, which is on the back of the chain with the plectrum tag as well. Is my video lagging for everybody, or just because I'm in the same room as it? Just check.
It's not too bad, Harriet. It's a little bit kind of blurry, but I just keep going. We can move over to earrings, which I am wearing. They're one of my favourite things.
So yeah, these are lovely, beautifully modelled by Rosie. So these pieces again say yes I can, and I also say my life, my rules on them, and they're in iridescent acrylic, and we've never done this before. This is a first because we've never actually inked onto the acrylic, but when Venus's drawings came through with the really brilliant lipstick writing on the mirror iconography, it just seemed like the perfect opportunity to test out a new technique. So these are super sparkly, and they sort of change all colours in all the lights, and the etching just worked so well. I was really pleased with the way that came out. And
they're really great earrings.
Wow. Okay.
Very light, but very strong in their message.
Then next we have, this is the allyship necklace, which is all of these beautiful hands all like holding each other basically, which link together. So there's, I'm really loving the nail varnish choices actually, Venus. I just think they work so well. It's super cute. So again, it's just like a digital print on a matte acrylic. So it's a real perfect, true representation of Venus's jewel. There we are, hold it a little bit better so you can see the whole thing at once, like that. So you can feel held by this necklace, hopefully, which I think we need to be held a little bit just now. And then the next piece, which I really love this one about all of them, aren't I? That's really, but I really like the way that the kind of it's sort of like a meeting of two minds, this one, I think, as well, because like in the drawing, there's stars in this piece in the drawing, but so to represent the stars we use this really super fine glitter acrylic behind the moons, and then I just love the way that there's the you are enough, the message in it is lovely, and I really like the way that the hands are holding that too. I think it's just got this lovely it's kind of mystical, it's kind of a bit future, it's a bit like a crystal ball, but it's telling you what really is as opposed to what might happen. It's like you are enough. And the way that those hands hold it, it's just so lovely. And that piece also is a little brooch too, which is, I'll just flick it, just try and catch the light in it, so you can see the writing on there, which is also inked the same colour as the earrings. So it's all tied together as a collection. Such a lovely piece. And then we have, oh, that's got a little bit. This is the solidarity necklace. So this is two hands based on Venus's jewellery again, and they're holding the world, which quite frankly we do as women, don't we? I think, or sometimes it feels like we do. And again, they've got really lovely different coloured nail varnishes, and there's some really lovely little details. I think what's lovely about Venus's work is that there's so many details in all the patterns and the textures that she does within the way that you do the drawings, and that's come across so beautifully in the printing. And then we have this one, which is the accompanying necklace to the print and Venus's earrings that she's wearing tonight. So this is the moving and making necklace. So it's got these two beautiful like domes or spheres, as it were. One says making waves and one says moving galaxies, which we totally all can do. And then they've got a little star for the galaxies, and it's got a little drop for the waves in pink acrylic and an iridescent acrylic. It's just a really nice jingly piece. And then I'll just give you a close up of Venus's earrings, so you can see what's going on. So these are quite a big pair of earrings. I think they're a statement. You can see from Venus's picture how good they are, what a good size they are. Essentially, they're a statement earring, and I think it's important because I love it when people ask you about your jewellery, because they're always such conversation starters, and I think that's what's so important about your jewellery actually having a message or being made in a way that is a positive, because you then get to tell the story to somebody, and that in itself is such a powerful message. And again, the textures and patination in Venus's drawings come so beautifully in the prints. I just try and hold it up so you can really see all the little tiny pale details in the lilac as well as the black lines. They're very lovely. And then we've got the kind of signature piece, if I can move away, which is the Trust in Women brooch, which I feel like is really Venus. I think you've got such a lovely affinity with leopard print, and I love the purple hands. They're just properly out of this world, and it's so referencing the actual collaboration. And I think that we all do need to trust in women. I think it's a key message for us, essentially. And I'm wearing the brooch of that, so just imagine that this also comes in a brooch. And then the last piece tonight out of the collection is also another piece that's represented by one of the prints that Venus has done, which is this feminist heart shape, kind of like locket in a funny kind of way, because Venus's prints were all are square essentially, or rectangular at least, but we felt that then this little heart was such a nice way to hold this piece. And I really am digging the way that the little feet just pop out of the edge and just break the silhouette up. And the feminist graphic just pops out of the sock and becomes big, just so that nobody can be mistaken.
Thank you, Harriet.
Collection.
That looks, yeah, that was really great to see that. It was a little bit muffly. I hope everyone could hear and see. I'm going to remove that spotlight and switch to gallery view. And we're now going to move over to Lily. Now, Lily is the Fundraising Innovations Manager at Young Women's Trust, and she's in touch with a lot of young women as well as the advisory panel. And we've got a few members of that panel here tonight. So Lily's just going to speak to some of them and they're going to share some experiences and thoughts with us.
Thanks, Rosie. Thank you. It feels like a lifetime ago that we were all actually physically sitting together in an actual room, coming up with plans for the collection, and it's just amazing to see it actually come together. Thank you so much for making it all happen, everyone. So I am really delighted to be able to introduce you to 5 members of our advisory panel tonight. Our advisory panel members, they all have direct experience of all of the issues that we campaign on as an organisation, and they're really at the heart of absolutely everything that we do. So from planning our campaigns, getting involved in all of our strategy, our fundraising activities, right down to kind of the details of how our website looks, they get involved in everything. So I'm going to go through one by one and we're just going to have a quick chat. So Amy, should we start with you? I just wanted to ask you how you've been, if you could tell us a little bit about how you've been involved with Young Women's Trust so far. I think you've been involved with us for quite a long time.
Yeah, so I've been involved with the Young Women's Trust since I think roughly 2017. And basically I used the Work It Out service. So I used the careers coaching first. So I had 6 sessions with a careers coach at times that were suitable for me. And it was a totally free service, and it just helped me learn more about myself and what I wanted to get out of life. And then from that, I was invited to be a Work It Out ambassador. And then from that, I was on the advisory panel. And here we are. So yeah, I've been involved with the charity for a little while.
That's great. I think we probably started around the same time, actually. And I think one of the reasons that obviously we love to have panel members like you coming to events like this and also talking to the media and to politicians is because we really want to show that we do trust in women, which is the whole kind of slogan that has encapsulated so much of the collection. And I just wanted to ask you kind of what trusting in young women really means to you.
I think it's exactly what you said. It's showing young women that you understand their potential and their worth, and you know how much they can contribute and enrich a situation. You know, there's so many situations where young women are still undervalued. I work in a very male-oriented sort of industry and job, and I am constantly, day by day, underestimated and and treated differently, even for stupid things like I'm the only one my manager will ask to make me go and make him a drink, and it infuriates me because I'm a woman, I have to go make the tea. I mean, it's just so outdated. But I think that tiny changes, just supporting young women and saying, you know, you've got this, and not telling them they can't do something just because they're women. That's all you have to do. It's so simple.
Thanks, Amy. And hopefully, you know, through all of the experiences of the advisory panel, you've been getting lots of opportunities to sort of to demonstrate what young women can really do and can achieve. Josie, I'm going to come across to you. Where's Josie? Yeah, there you are. And I know, so I think you've been on the advisory panel as well for a couple of years. And I wanted to ask you about the feminist print that Venus has created. It was kind of inspired by our goal to smash stereotypes and to take feminist action. And I wanted to ask what the word feminist and also that idea of taking action means to you.
Yeah, well, first of all, can I just say that I absolutely adore the print. It's artistic dreams. But I think for me personally, the idea of being a feminist, people still see it as quite a radical thing, when in reality it's not. Like, asking for equality isn't a radical thing. It shouldn't be something that's so supposedly outrageous. I think, like, for me personally, being a feminist is just about saying no when things aren't right. Like, you shouldn't, like Amy said, you shouldn't be asking me to do something simply because I'm a woman. We shouldn't be expecting women to do things simply because they're women. It's not like it's kind of unjust just to say no, like, this isn't on, and why are we not doing more for this? Why are we not doing more to protect, like, more vulnerable women? Why are we not, like, actually taking steps in creating a more positive environment? Like, I know I'd say a lot of politicians and some media outlets often have a very bad reflection, especially when talking about women. And I think that's just something that needs to stop. Why is there any need for bad mouthing a woman simply because she has, like, feminist characteristics? Like, there's just no need. And I think it's one of those things. It's 2021. We all need more positivity, and I think just taking the right steps with it and just being more proactively positive about getting the good change is what we really need right now.
I think there's a lot of people on this call that definitely agree with you, Josie. It is 2021 and it's obviously been a really challenging year for so many young women. I wonder what it is that you're hoping to achieve this year, what's going to keep you motivated?
For me, it's always going to be something artistic. I think 2020 was a very weird year for a lot of people. I had quite a few hiccups. So, I mean, I know I've been in contact with the Young Women's Trust with various members who've helped me through my hiccups, which included a very rocky and unstable apprenticeship. And then more recently, getting sacked whilst on furlough, because working on furlough is apparently now a thing. But, you know, but I'd say for this year, it's definitely focus on what aligns more to me rather than following what people think I should be doing, which, according to a lot of people, like, office job, always the right way. But for me, it's more, I want to go into something more creative. And I think it's, again, keeping to your guns with the feminist approach of, just because I'm a woman, this isn't going to stop me. Like, I want to get into the tattoo industry, which is very male dominated. And I think a lot of the things I've been pushed back because I'm simply a woman. And then you go and see they've taken on someone else that's a male, and it's not judging on things on your actual work, which in a way motivates me more. It's okay, well, you may push me back, but kind of fight back harder. I'm not going to give you reasons to say no to me simply because I am a woman. It's just not happening.
Well, I think you're definitely among friends here with your desire to be creative and follow a creative path. Thank you for sharing that, and definitely a good thing to remember to stick to your personal passions for 2021. Shanice and B, there you are. So I'm going to come to you two together because I know that you are both going to talk about Venus's Bravery Print. It was inspired by our aim of really unlocking young women's potential. Shanice, are you there? We just want to check. Yes, you're there. Cool. I just wanted to come to you first and ask about what being brave and unlocking your potential means to you. Oh, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Sorry, I've got a loud baby in the background. So
oh, that's all right.
For me, it's bravery. It means something new to me recently because I've just left an abusive relationship with my baby, and bravery for me means for the first time saying no, and meaning that my voice is now heard, which it hasn't been for a long time. So it's something new for me because I haven't been able to stand up for myself in a long time and speak up for what I believe in and how I feel. But bravery it's definitely something that's pushed me to join Young Women's Trust and be on the advisory board. It was actually the first positive thing that happened to me from me leaving, and it's given me the platform to speak up and be brave. And so I'm exploring it still, but at the moment that's what it means, is just being heard and knowing that I'm important. And if I feel like I'm in a situation or a place where I'm not being treated importantly or with respect, then it's speaking up and making sure that everyone knows I am important.
Thank you so much for sharing, Shanice. It's definitely a really brave thing to do, to come here today as well and speak to all these people. So thank you for being here. B, what about you? What would you say is the bravery and unlocking your potential means to you?
Well, hello everyone. Thank you very much for everything you've done in regards to Young Women's Trust with the collection. It looks absolutely brilliant. And with bravery, to me personally, I would actually say it is taking those first few steps and kind of acknowledging there is a problem, there is an issue. Because for me personally, it wasn't so much the campaigning, the activism that I struggled with. It was just accepting that there was an inequality economically among women, and I really wanted to address that. And I think it's brave in itself to kind of realize that there is an issue. And I think it is very easy to kind of put it off and, you know, always put it off as something else, sweep it under the rug. But to actually take those first steps, they're always the hardest. So I think that's brave in itself, really.
Thank you, definitely. And I think you know, like I said, both of you, all of you being here today and all of the work that you do on the advisory panel, there's just so much that I know so many people would be nervous about doing. I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about what being on the panel actually means and what other things that you do. I don't, Shanice, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So similar to what I was saying previously about being brave, it's just putting yourself on a platform where you can speak up. And for me, like I said, this is the first platform that I've been on to have my voice heard, not just for myself, but so many other women in my situation. Coronavirus has hit so many different people, and particularly women in my situation. And it just feels like a positive thing to step up and have our voices heard, and it gives us the opportunity to get that done.
Thanks, Shanice. B, what have you been up to with the advisory panel? What kind of activities have you done?
Okay, so I'm quite a new panelist actually to the Young Women's Trust, so I haven't done as much as some of the other people in the actual charity, but so far, as I said, it's taken those first steps. I have only attended one of our residential weekends, but that is the first step, and it's just being able to acknowledge that I can make a change and I can make a difference, and not just to myself, but to other people. So I think in doing those weekends and this event today, you know, it's inspiring, and I really wish I could say more. I really can't find the words, and just being able to be a part of that is really, really quite inspiring for me, as I say, and just I'm so glad that I'm with so many like-minded people in these masses and I'm not alone.
Thanks, B. I think the residentials, which we usually hold twice a year for our panel members, and is a chance for them to share all of their experiences and also to get some training as well, have obviously been online this year, which is a really weird new experience for us. Usually they're face-to-face, but they're still really fun. And then finally, the Making Waves and Moving Galaxies print was really inspired by our campaigning and our activism work. And Tilly, I know you've been really involved in the activism side of things. So I just wondered if you could tell us a bit about, I think you've been doing the activism training and what making change happen means to you and what the training was all about.
And so the activism training that we actually got set up in, we've had like a self-care session which is coming up so that we can restrict ourselves from burnout. We've had lots of key bits of training, like how to contact our MPs, how to recognise what like kind of areas and stuff we're in. It's been absolutely fantastic going into these breakout rooms with all these other like-minded individuals, and we're just sat there like, right, we need to change something, let's change it. Because of all the help that I had with the activism, I'm currently leading a campaign in my local community, where unfortunately one of the few areas in the country that doesn't have access to fibre. So during the pandemic, obviously internet's been really important. There's people who've suffered with schoolwork, working from home, and so far I've been in contact with my local MP about 3 or 4 times, and I've got quite a bit of the community on board with it. So it's been absolutely phenomenal, and I'm seeing the change it's making. Tomorrow I'm doing a meeting with some other people from the Young Women's Trust to decide the Young Women's Trust next campaign. Honestly, if you'd have
that's fantastic to hear.
Told me 2 years ago that I would be the person who was changing things for everyone else, I'd have been like, no, never, I can't do that, I'm lower class, we don't do anything. And then it's like, oh wait, we can have our voices heard, this is cool.
That's fantastic to hear. That's brilliant news. And I'm really pleased that the activism training sort of inspired you to get involved. And please keep letting us know how it goes, because that sounds absolutely brilliant and so timely at the moment as well. Like you said, digital inclusion is something that we've been working on at Young Women's Trust as well, because this whole pandemic has really just thrown up this whole other area where people can be left out. So it's really brilliant and timely. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being brave and for showing up and for sharing your really valuable experiences with us. It's just really, really nice to hear from you all, and thank you for all of the long-term work that you do for Young Women's Trust as well. And Rosie, back to you, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lily. Thank you so much, Bea, Tilly, Shanice, Amy, and Josie. I think the charity can really come to life when you actually hear real stories about how the charity's helping you, helping others, and helping society, basically. And that's, what we're very, very much passionate about. I am going to put you all into the audience because
and hopefully she'll come back soon. I think she's going to put all the panelists, apart from Venus and herself and me, into the audience so that we can focus on seeing the prints. And hopefully she'll come back on the line and not be frozen for too much longer. Because
I'm going to join you so you're not just sitting there.
Just randomly talking to myself.
Oh dear.
We need to make small talk anyway, Venus, while you were doing the so we could just start practicing now, basically.
Oh, technology, it has to fail at some point, doesn't it?
That didn't work. It didn't work. Let's
She's
try
back.
once more. I don't know what happened. My iPad is going crazy.
Maybe while Rosie concentrates on doing that, we could start to look at the first print before she starts to introduce
Hang
it.
on. Yeah, let's just put, sorry, Josie, I'm going to put Venus on Spotlight. And I'm going to put Josie remove Spotlight. And there is Venus. So hi. Venus, hi.
Hi.
Whilst I've got you, sorry, too much listening to the ladies and all those wonderful people. So this auction, basically what we need everyone to do is make sure your Zoom chat is open. if you want to bid on a print, as Venus holds it up, you just need to put a message over to the panel. You can't, I was hoping you'd do it to me personally, but as we're working as a panel, you need to do it to the panel, and just put which print, so print 1, 2, 3 or 4, and to say how much you are bidding. We're starting each print at £20. We're going to spend about 3 to 5 minutes on each print, see how it goes. Be quick, dig deep. Remember, all the proceeds go to the Young Women's Trust, and you know, the money really does go to a brilliant place that's really fighting for economic justice for young women, and for women full stop. Young women become old women. It's just women full stop. We need the money. What I will do, once we've got a winner, we'll move on to the next one, and I will be contacting you on chat, and just to get your details, your email or phone number, just so we can contact you tomorrow, make sure we get your address and we can take the payment and we can go from there. So Venus, do you want to kick off? I think we start with the Bravery print.
So beautiful.
Also, like every print, it's just, there's only one. I won't be making multiple, so you will be the only owner of each print.
That's amazing. So it's not even an edition. Fantastic. They're beautiful. What size is that? Is that A2?
This is A3.
A3. Okay, cool. So that's a beautiful size.
Yeah.
And there's some other messages in the mirrors on the floor. What do the other ones say? The one that's not on the jewellery.
So we've got obviously the Yes I Can, which is on the jewellery. Equal pay now. Fight for what's right. My body, my rules, and the little one says kick ass.
All excellent messaging.
The light's really bad in my room, so I'm very sorry. I would put it over here, but then it's not as good because of the light.
No, I think we can see what's going on, and I love the way it's so. I like the way that the jewelry came out of this one too. It all just works so well together. We've been working on it for a long time, essentially.
Yeah,
it's
been a long process, hasn't it? Because of COVID getting in the way as well. But I'm just so glad that we can share it with everybody now.
And sort of, how long does it take you to draw a drawing like that? Like from start to finish? Like, what's your process?
My process, I normally hand draw everything. So I've always been like that. I'm not really into technology. I come from a fine art background, so I'm very used to like using my hands. So I kind of wanted to like stick to that kind of way of working. So I hand draw everything first.
So like proper pen and paper style, yeah, and then scan it in.
Pen and paper, and then scan it in, and I then draw it in and colour it, and all of it out of the little like details and the layers. So yeah,
it's actually really intricate when you look at it. Especially because I looked at it in such intense detail, quite frankly, for quite a lot of weeks when I was preparing the artwork to make into the jewellery, and there's a lot of detail in those pieces.
Yeah,
just to let everyone know, we've got a minute left and we're up to £45.
Oh, that's great.
I think it's a beautiful print. I think you're very clever lady. And I really like the way you coordinated your top with your artwork tonight.
Yeah, I bought this specially for this evening because I was like, I need to like match with the jewellery and put a bit of colour on because I haven't worn colour for a very long time. So
actually, no, putting makeup on tonight was like so exciting. It's like I was actually going to a proper party. I was like, oh God, this feels so good. I think I should just do this every night because it makes me feel better.
And so we're just few more seconds. If anybody wants any last minute bids to get this beautiful print, look at it every day and remember that you can do it,
and that you helped loads of amazing, brilliant young women.
Yeah, cool. I think we could probably move on to the next one.
Cool.
Should we move on to the feminist one?
Yeah, over to feminist.
Now this is
my favourite.
I really like the sort of teal mint colour in the background of this.
Yeah, it's one.
I would really like those socks. I don't know if you're going to possibly work with a sock manufacturer in the future. I can't do that, unfortunately, but those socks are totally rad and I would totally wear them.
Yeah,
we're up to £30.
Yeah, This is definitely my favorite print because I use this color quite a lot in a lot of my work, this teal color. It really stands out. It doesn't look like it on camera, but in real life it stands out so much.
It just makes me want to go for a run too. It's just like, it's quite, I know that sounds really weird, but it's like, I find, because like for me as a not that young woman, but still nevertheless a woman who's got a child and single parenting, it's like finding the time to take yourself out for a run is a really special time that you don't give yourself.
And finding the time to shave your legs, which quite frankly we don't need to do. We're up to £60, everybody.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think it's just got a good, it's just got that feel, it's got the kind of like the ethos in the feel of this piece, and also that she's putting her socks up. I think that's a lovely like reference, as it were. It's just like, you know, it's just like I'm ready, I'm going for it, and I'm wearing my heart on my socks, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that.
How much of your work is self-referential? Have you got those trainers, or are they?
No, do you know what? I really like to draw pieces of clothing that I wish I owned.
Yeah, totally.
So if I had some trainers, I would love them to look like this. I would love to have my own trainer collection. Like, I'm such a sports freak. I love sportswear.
Okay, well, we have a necklace that says yes I can, which means yes you can. So you just have to embody that, and then you'll have your own brand. You'll have your own
manifesting.
It is a new moon tonight. We shall manifest a line of trainers for you.
Yes, please do.
Just to let everyone know, we've got one more minute. We're on £60. So if anybody else really wants this print, you need it in your room. Motivation to run, not to shave your legs ever again, and to be the best woman you possibly can be.
It's a really special piece. We want to raise loads of money, essentially, and I think that's a really important factor, as well as owning such a totally beautiful thing. It's like you just get that feel good factor too, don't you?
Yeah,
so, it's really cool. So when you did fine art, did you do it? Did you actually go to college? What did you do?
Yeah, I did. I went to college, did art, and then I did a fine art degree, which I loved. I wish I could go back and be a student again. How I love it.
Yeah, it was such a special time.
I think we can move on to the next print that is sold at £60, and I'll be contacting the winner. Now we're moving over to the trust print.
Yes, so this one is obviously, like Lily was saying, the kind of message behind the whole campaign, trusting in women. And I'm wearing the brooch as well as some of the other people that are here tonight.
It's so good. And I like it. It's kind of a bit cosmic and a little bit witchy in a perplexed way.
Yes,
it's like I think
what I wanted to go with.
Yeah, I love that, because I mean I'm obviously a big fan of witches, quite frankly, and the idea of like that people are frightened of women, you know, like women with knowledge and women who would help heal in society, essentially, were like to be frightened of and vilified, essentially. And I think I'm owning that. I guess it's just like it's like powerful women have got like a historical trail on their backs, essentially, that we could just need to sort of overcome, essentially. And I love that the purpleness of those is that, and also that I think we do have a power, and the kind of cosmic vibes is like, maybe I'm talking, just stop me if I'm rambling.
No, I love it.
I'll just say that we're on £40. We've had a few bids, we're on £40.
But the cosmic touch in the fingers, you know, it's just like, I think that when it's like there is something magical, and you know, and obviously like witchcraft is like, you know, almost like a religion, essentially. But I think what is important about it is that it's like deciding what you want, and then you can get it. And I think a lot of what witchcraft is like just spending time thinking about it, and maybe writing on a little piece of paper. And quite often, when you know what you want, you can get it. And I think, and that's misconstrued with some sort of magical forces from the ancient times, as it were. But I think that women are powerful. Or human beings are, you know, it generally. And I think if you channel it into that mystical, I love the little stars and the little swirls around the fingertips, because it's like that, everything is at your fingertips, essentially.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I really have in the last year believed in manifesting positive energy and positive thoughts. And I have noticed a huge difference, because before I was such a negative person, and just having that change of mindset has made a huge difference to my life and my mental health. And like, I hope like within all of these prints and the jewellery, it is just a reminder that even though you may have your down days and your mental health may be bad some days, you can do it. You just need to big yourself up. You have to be really selfish with yourself.
I'd just love to say we've had 3 bids at £45, so let's give this one more minute and everyone can do their last and final best bids. That would be fantastic.
And I love the leopard print in this piece as well, and I wonder if you had a special affinity with leopard print, Venus, or whether you had a special item of clothing that was your favourite thing ever that was leopard print, or a celebrity possibly, not Barbara Windsor specifically, but someone who epitomises leopard print for you.
I don't even own that much leopard print. I just love, when I was younger, growing up, I really did love leopard print. I think I like wore it way too much and made myself sick of it. So sometimes it creeps back into my art.
It's there.
Yeah, but I just think it's such a great colour combination against like pink and purples.
It works
We've just had a question about whether it can be signed, and I just wanted to reiterate that every single one of these will be signed, and they are one-offs. They're super special. We are now on £55 for this, so I'll give it 10 seconds. If anybody else wants to do a final bid, I am watching closely. Otherwise, it goes for £55. It will be signed, and we can move over to the next one. Thank you very much. We will leave it there and on to the next one. Gosh, I feel like an auctioneer. Love it.
I think you need a gavel. Have you got a little
I know, I need a gavel. I need all sorts. Hang on a second.
Trying not to like touch them too much because I hate touching the actual print. But
so this is lovely that you chose to do a pair of prints rather than put them together. I think that works so nicely with the way the jewellery is split across the two shapes. And actually, it's working really beautifully because the print itself was contained in that circle to start with because it was designed around the jewellery. But I really like the way you've enlarged it and spread it around the background as well. That works so well together.
Yeah, these will look really nice when they're framed and like next to each other.
Yeah, super cute.
This is my favourite piece of the whole collection, and the earrings, like I wear them all the time and I get so many compliments on them because obviously the messaging, you can actually, because they're quite, like you said, quite big earrings, you can actually see the messaging when you are, well, at the moment you can't be close to people, but when I'm at the cash, like when I go food,
you don't need to be close wearing these earrings, Venus. You can read it. And we've just had a question that is this for a pair or for one, and it's for the pair. We're starting at £20, but I would like to see this go well over £40, and if everybody can dig deep, this is the final bid and this is our last chance other than to go on and buy the jewellery, which we will be sharing a link soon. The bids are coming in. We're at £55. £55. Is anyone better than £55 for the pair? I want these. I really love them. I love the sentiment. I love that what Young Women's Trust are really helping women to learn to campaign, finding their voices.
Yeah, have that confidence.
We've just got a couple of things here. So we've got a few people coming in at £60. If anybody could up their bid from 60, then we can move it upwards. And one at 62. Another question, does the jewellery donate to the Young Women's Trust? So this is something I should have mentioned. I haven't. Every piece of jewellery that we sell, £3 will go to Young Women's Trust, and we will be building that fund and building our relationship with them. We've up to £70 for these pair of prints. If anybody can go up from 70, 74, anyone up from 74, 2 prints, they're going to look beautiful in anybody's room, anybody's house, anybody's office, anybody's anything. This is £75 now. I don't know where I'd put them. I need. I
think they could look quite cool over either side of the bed.
Oh yeah, that would be lovely. You either move or the shaker, Harriet. That's what I want. £76. Right, we'll give this 2 more minutes because it's going on. We're at 76. If anybody wants to put in their last offers, then we'll just give it another minute. Harriet and Venus, over to you.
Yeah, no, these are definitely my favourite. And when I was making these, the whole concept of moving galaxies and making waves was just something that I tell myself like all the time, that I can do these things, like no matter how small or big the project might be or the vision. Like, it's just to remind myself that if I'm persistent and again manifest it, that you can do these things. And it is about also having people around you that believe in you, which is like what's amazing about Young Women's Trust, is that support is there to remind you that you can do these things, regardless of your sex or your
Totally. As well as the iconography I love in the kind of like in the kind of space and in the kind of the water. They're kind of both relatively uninhabitable spaces for human beings. They, you know, there's no oxygen and you could drown essentially, but it's just like but you can change them and move them, and it's they feel overwhelming, but it's totally possible.
We've just had a last minute bid in at £75. I am going to go.
I can see one for 76.
For 76, 3, 2, 1, 78.
Woo!
One sold to the woman who paid £78. Thank you very much. I will be messaging you.
That was really fun.
Thank you, everyone.
Venus. That was very, very exciting. I am going to take you off Spotlight. We should be back to the world of hopefully everybody. Oh, guys, you're still there. Sorry, I thought that, you know, I managed to put you into the audience.
All good.
So we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much, everybody. I did want to see if anybody does have any questions. We could do a very quick Q&A. We've got about 7 minutes left. At 8 o'clock, we will be emailing everybody the link to the website. You will be the first to preview the collection. We won't be launching until midday tomorrow, so you've got until midday tomorrow to be the first to get your hands on it. And yeah, just amazing, really. It's been really brilliant to hang out with Venus, hang out with you all, hear your stories and hear your chat, and everyone who has been so amazing and bidding on these prints. Thank you so much. Every penny will be going to Young Women's Trust. We will be sending them the money as soon as it's in. And I've just, yes, somebody's asked if they will still get the email. Yes, you should still get the email. Yeah, has anybody got any questions just while I email the final lucky winner? If anyone's got anything, they can put a hand up, or they can chat, send a message, or we could open the Q&A, couldn't we? I'm just going to message the winner, and Harriet, I don't know if you can just take over for a sec.
Well, I can like fill in some time while Rosie types something very important into the chat department.
Tilly, have you got a question?
Yeah, it's not really a question. It was just like a comment. When we were looking at some of the things, all I could absolutely think was like, what amazing work some of this has done. And some of the art that was done absolutely inspired me, like the Making Waves one especially. That is pretty much all activists do. We start with little ripples and we create the biggest of waves, and it just absolutely speaks to my soul. And then the trust in women. So I found an article a few weeks back where it was like, oh, we keep accrediting most of discoveries to men, but like, who in the past actually needed to clock 28 days to make the first calendar? Why would a man need to get 28 days? And it just hit me, and it was like, oh my gosh, my life has been a lie. There is more to this. So the work that's being put out in these prints and jewelry are absolutely fantastic, and they just really hit home on the whole idea of like, okay, we're done with that era of our lives now. It's gone.
Oh, there's so much lovely things to learn. There's just such a world of brilliant females out there that have been lost. I just think it's so exciting because we're finding out about these amazing artists, like women who embedded abstraction like way before Paul Klee. You know, it's just like they have to rewrite book, you know, like history books. It's like, move over, Gombrich. You really need to think about rewriting this because it wasn't how it said. No matter how much they self-declared that they did that, it's like it wasn't a thing. It's just, and it's so lovely. I love finding out stories about women. It's one of my passions. It's just like, and I just go for a run, listen to audiobooks about women, and just people think I'm mad because I'm running around the park crying about some fantastic story I'm listening to. It's fun. It's lovely to hear you so passionate about stories like that.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody. I think we can leave it there. I am going to put in the chat, hang on a minute, if I can, to everyone. Can I do
if anyone who does buy some of the jewellery, can they please send me pictures when they wear it? Because I love seeing your pictures, and I'd love to like post them and share the.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody just get onto Instagram and hashtag Tatty Devine, hashtag Venus Libido, hashtag the Young Women's Trust, because obviously the more we can spread the word, the more people might buy the jewellery, and then consequently the more help we can do for the Young Women's Trust. So that's such a brilliant point, Venus. Well made.
Thank you. And I have got the link if anybody wants to go, excuse me, if anybody wants to go on to, oh, hang on a sec, we've got some comments. Venus, I'm going to frame my prints and have them in my bedroom. I'll send you photos. Someone else says, I'm not young, but helping people helps me. I used to be a counsellor in comms, and I can't wait to help Young Women's Trust. Someone else says, best hour spent. That's so lovely. Someone says, thank you. Someone says, so happy to win these. Someone says, amazing, thank you. So just to reiterate, everybody, thank you so, so much. I am going to put into the chat the link to, hopefully, oh gosh, how am I going to do this? I might have to just do something complicated for a second and go into, I'm on my iPad because my computer has died. Bear with me for 1 second. Harriet, do you mind just holding the fort for 30 seconds?
We absolutely can. We are all good with holding the fort. I'm glad I'm on the computer. I've got like 400 windows open, including like the line sheet, so I could remember the names of the products.
Oh, shall I send you the link? I'll send you the link to the and then you can put it in the chat.
Okay, cool.
That's for technology.
Okay.
Sending away. And I just wanted to say my favourite, Venus, is this. It says, you are enough. And I kind of want to give this to every single person, every woman I know who has self-doubt or issue, you know, just ever thinks that they're not enough, because, you know, we are enough. We do so much. And I just think it's one of the most precious, beautiful things. And I know that it's going to be in my Tatty collection forever. I wore a brooch yesterday that we actually brought out in 2006. And I just like, it's a little lips brooch, but it's one that I wear all the time. And there's, you know, they're timeless pieces that are never to be thrown away and always be believed in. So I want everyone out there to know they are enough, and check it out. It's been really, really wonderful. There's the link. If everybody wants to have a little click on that. Thank you, Harriet. I was just like, how am I going to do this? This is too I'm not in IT. Oh, but again, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm assuming that everyone can grab that link, and if you haven't managed to get it, you will get an email in a minute with the link. Check out the jewellery. The lovely Venus and Curvy Naomi have modelled for us. They are beautiful and incredible.
Total dream team on that shoot.
1000% justice. It's just too good. And thank you again to Lily and all of you here tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.